positive alternative for Perth's youth. Youth Jam Radio, Perth's positive alternative.
Hello everybody, we're here at Youth Jam Radio again. It's Monday night, the night we know and love so very well. But I'm going to take you all the way back to 1980. That's right, you've heard of the 80s, now you're going to meet someone from the 80s. We're talking Brock Tranter. He's born up in Karratha. He's up there for about 3 years, but you might know him as someone with a very large heart. And during today's interview, or tonight's interview, we're going to break that down and find out just where all that motivation comes from. Welcome to Youth Jam Radio, Brock.
Thanks, Bowser. It's good to be here.
Now, mate, you are known as someone who helps out others a lot, giving it away. You're looking out for other people. I'm just wondering, as you've grown up as a tiny tot in the northern suburbs of Perth, going to primary school and high school, are there some people in your life that stand out that you're like, yeah, they've influenced me in that sort of on the caring role we're talking about, on the helping others role?
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because it's not really something that I intended to or consciously sort of took on. I guess it's just the environment that I was brought up in. So I guess mum would be number one in that. She's a massive heart, like all the way through my youth and teenage years. Like it was always open house to the kids around through my school friends or my church friends, whatever, that just come and hang out, like always open house. And it was just people like that. My family, the extended family, always major accepting of people, always looking for positives in people, and just really slow to pass judgment and that sort of thing. It didn't matter what you did, there was always open arms there. So it's just the environment, I guess, I was brought up in.
Like with the open house, are we talking meals as well, the full service? Thanks, Mum.
It was the full service. It'd be like go to a basketball game. The basketball game would be local, so it should be invite everyone back for the old toasted sangers.
Now, with basketball, I know you've had a range of coaches, but one coach that I do know you've had was a former Olympian. He's unfortunately passed away now, Tom Bender. Just he was a legend of the sport, and I know he coached you in what was the team that he coached you in?
So it was a junior basketball team. I actually played with his son, Josh. So that was a really good time in my, it was quite young in juniors, and so his influence over my attitude towards the game was massive, because it was all about the fundamentals. And even though he was a legend, as you said, represented Olympic Games and all that, it was still all about the fundamentals, the simple things, and being part of a team and being relied on as your role was just what the basis of it all was. And of course, the element of fun and that he brought to it as well was super important. So that's where my basis for everything I put into the game, I guess, went on from that point.
Now, you mentioned being part of a team and being relied upon, and I know you work now in adventure activities with young people and adults alike, where teamwork, I've heard you talk about teamwork before, and being relied upon to do your role. Has that flowed through from when you were a young person till now, that whole thing about being reliable?
It certainly has, all the way from your family. We had a pretty tight family, so you have your roles and your responsibilities within there, and you see the way it affects from there. We're always brought up playing team sports, and the benefits from team sports is huge. All the way into your school, you always got working with other people through there. University, everything involves people, and I'm really a people orientated person. I don't like doing a lot of things solo. It's always involving other people. So you just always have those elements. You assume your roles, and even whether it's conscious or not conscious, you just assume positions and have to fulfill those roles and responsibilities you do.
Now, you mentioned school this before, and I know in school you had some big interests: mechanics, working on cars and doing up cars, and also basketball, whatnot. But then you didn't go into. I know you've pursued basketball to a higher level, but you didn't pursue mechanics beyond fixing up your own cars. Was there come a point you had to choose between, say, a trade or getting some qualifications at university?
Yeah, definitely. Times were different then. I could have left at the end of year 10 and taken on an apprenticeship, which was definitely an option, because it was not the brightest spark in the shed in terms of academics, but that was probably more to do with focus than anything else. At that age, things that interest you are what you chase. But I really loved working with my hands, and it was an option. So I went through what's now ATAR. It used to be TE back then. With the family saying, education's a good thing, they sort of convinced me to stay at school.
Thanks, Mum.
So, thanks, Mum. It was really good that I did. I look back now and very thankful for that. So I did my 4 ATAR subjects, and I was at a school where they offered motors and machines, which I skipped out on one of the written assignments. Otherwise, I would have got the grade award for that. But it was something of interest. I did it. I guess the turning point for the choice in that was I did it as a 2-week work experience block, and I saw probably how little contact you have with actual people. It's more to do with the car you're working on. And so at that point, I decided that I didn't want to do that as a career. Just as a hobby on the side was enough for me. And I guess my love for that sort of thing stemmed from my pop as well, because as a kid, spent a lot of time down in Rockingham with him. He was retired, and he just had the big shed, so it was all working on the car, doing some woodwork in the shed, building, taking things apart, all the things that young boys love to do. He just fed that side of me really well.
Well, you seem to have blended the hands-on work with the professional work with your university degree there in outdoor education, and that must have sparked some interest in you. As a teenager, that sort of work, or being out adventure sort of work. How did that come about?
Yeah, so my uncle's got a lot to do with that. He had a couple of young boys himself, so they'd go camping, and he'd obviously extend the invitation to me during those times. So canoeing on the Blackwood River, just setting up during marine season and being alongside the river and tenting, fires, all that sort of stuff. So a lot of it was boys' trips. What happens on those trips, you can't always pass on the information. But good times, and just being out in nature really struck a chord with me, I guess, and the release, I guess, you get from it, from your day-to-day stresses, especially with school and all that, to just be able to switch off, enjoy the time outdoors. You develop massive relationships with the people that you spend that time with. I grew pretty close to my uncle during those times, and my cousins, which is just, they're great people. And so learnt a lot of lessons that I guess over time I wanted to share with other people as well.
And then the year 2000 was when things came together in an employment. You're able to actually earn some money from this stuff that you love to do. And was that in the northern suburbs of Perth? It was.
So I'd switched degrees. When I left school, I wanted to be a teacher. There's massive need always for guys in primary school teaching. So I thought that's where my calling would be. As I got into it, realised that primary school wasn't the right age group, and that I actually wanted to go out, get some experience outside the classroom instead of just going school, university, back to school. So I got into the outdoor rec industry, and one of our units took us to Ern Halliday Rec Camp, which, funny enough, my uncle was manager of at the time, Uncle Steve, and I applied for a casual position there, which, it's a fantastic job. You get decent pay. You're running outdoor adventure activities for primary school kids mostly, some high school kids as well. And so it was a great casual job to have while I was at university, which when I finished my degree, I just took on more work there and became a full-time employee. So Ern Halliday gave me several years of backing before I could extend that into doing some more expedition-based stuff through schools, private schools like Hale School and St Hilda's and that sort of thing.
And it also seems that the outdoor rec industry has brought someone very special into your life as well that, let's face it, is well out of your league. And somehow, through outdoor recreation, the miracle has happened, and Brock had found himself a supermodel wife, everybody. And I don't know how this happened, but he's done it. So
I can accredit that just to the prayers from my mum, I think.
Thanks again, Mum. What an industry. It's been very good to him. But Brock's someone that gives back, and he gives a lot to teenagers these days, friends. And in a moment, we're just going to hear a little bit more about how much he gives back into people's lives.
Broadcasting all over Perth, Australia and the world. This is Youth Jam Radio, home to your favourite tracks.
Okay, so when you're out and working, young people, you tend to find some people do extra things, other people do the bare minimum. But with this guy we're talking to today, friends, he always and only ever does the extra things. So I've seen him help a lot of people over the years, but are there any, maybe funny stories, Brock, that you've been able to help someone or maybe carry someone or push them up a hill? In fact, I can, in my mind, see you pushing someone up a hill right now. But does anything stand out to you where perhaps you've had to, do a little thing, but it's made a big difference to the other person?
It is incredible, because I work with a lot of different people through a lot of different times. Just seeing the growth that they have, and it's amazing what you can say to someone, not thinking or do for someone that you don't think's a big deal at the time, but afterwards they come back to you and they're just like, man, that changed my life. So I've had kids. There was this one kid I think of from a hail camp I did once. And he was a big unit, and he's not a fit guy, and he spent most of his time indoors, computer games, that sort of stuff. And I took him on a camp, so it was a pretty labour-intensive camp. We were out in the middle of the bush for 5 nights, so it was a fairly it was a heavy camp, and he certainly wasn't comfortable at the beginning of it. I can tell you that. But as time went on, you could just see the determination he had to push through all those things, and he made it to the end. Didn't seem anything different than the other kids that had struggled and all that. But I actually saw him again the next year when he came back for his year 10 camp, and he'd slimmed down a lot. He'd changed his whole lifestyle, and he came back and he was gave me a big hug. He's yeah,
it's a win.
You're on a win. And he's like, man, you guys changed my life. To get out, realize that I wasn't physically capable like a lot of the other boys in the class, and he went and changed his lifestyle around because of that. So even though he wasn't doing the outdoor ed things besides the outdoor ed camps through school, he was made a massive difference for him and outlook on what he does. But that sort of thing, I guess there's millions of stories you could come up with. We've got two ex-students from Quinns, where I'm at right now, who are now in the outdoor rec degree.
Oh, yeah?
Because one of them came through an outdoor ed program, loved it so much, he's gone on to do it. And it's actually his sister. Can we name drop here?
We can. In fact, I think one of these siblings we've had on this show before, the one and only Brent Quick. Of course, we're talking about that. But who else might there be there, Brocky, that we're talking about?
Yeah, so his older sister, Meg Quick, she'd changed a few decisions in her life on where she wanted to go. She decided she was going to do teaching. She was nearly going to become an English teacher. But then she was like, well, why don't I do what I'm passionate about and share that on to other people? So she's moved on from just helping out on some of the school camps here now as an ex-student and very capable young female to actually doing the degree herself at university with the dream of becoming an outdoor ed teacher someday. So those things just, make it all worthwhile, I guess.
So a 5-night camp you mentioned there before in the bush, I mean, it's a big responsibility and a lot of planning involved in an endeavour like that.
Yeah, there is a lot of planning. Fortunate enough, that position that I had with Hale, the planning happened by their full-timers, and you just sort of get the program given to you, so you get the glory of just running the program. Obviously, there's the stresses of making sure you stick to it and the safety of everyone and all those sorts of things, but you're well qualified by the time you get to it, and it's just enjoy the time you have with those kids. I actually prefer the longer programs because after day 2, day 3, everyone knows what's going on. There's not as much instruction. You can just actually get back, have some really good conversations with people, find out about where they're coming from. They find out a lot more about you, and that's, I guess, where the differences are made.
So the determination is obviously a very important part of any outdoor ed endeavour, activity, but and it comes out in different forms, I guess, through endurance or just quiet determination, or the young people who are very verbal and out there and shouting. And is there any act of determination you've seen recently, or while in the past that is a benchmark for you, perhaps walking through a blistered foot situation, or I can think of a few myself, but
oh yeah. Which one do you choose?
Oh.
I can think of a few years ago. We had some students. It was we go down to Walpole every year here with Quinns with the Year 11s and do some of the bib track. We experimented with a slightly longer walk. Took some kids that were doing the outdoor rec, and we knew that they were capable. But after one of the long days, I think we'd done about 25 kilometres.
It's a fair effort.
There was one of the girls, she probably not drank enough, a little bit dehydrated, so she couldn't have a proper meal at night time. She had a couple of mozzie bites, which she reacted poorly to, so you had the full, swollen leg thing going on. Ooh. Very poor night's sleep because she was up vomiting and all that sort of stuff. Ooh. But so I thought, here we go. We're going to have to call in the forward drive to get her out. She's not going to want to do the next day, that sort of thing. But man, she was a strong girl, and she was determined not to quit. She didn't want to leave the friendship group behind and have them create stories that she wasn't going to be part of. So she pushed on, managed herself a lot better the next day in terms of hydration and all that sort of stuff. Came good, and by the end of it, she was like one of the strongest in the group.
I guess we saw the hydration, the skill part and the planning part come together with determination. So determination itself is needed, but then is also the skill and the planning to actually your diet, hydration, taking correct clothing and whatnot. It all comes together.
It certainly does all come together. And that's why we spend so much time, I guess, doing the planning with the students beforehand, making sure they know exactly what they're in for so they can expect what they've got. But it's always going to be different. Training run's never like the real thing. You got to get out there and give it a go at some point.
Yes, absolutely. And I believe on Saturday and this Saturday and Sunday you are about to give things a go. 21 kilometre run in the heat on the Saturday.
Should be a warm day.
Should be a warm day. And I know you've had to overcome a painful injury to get to the start line there, and then a 2.2 kilometre swim around the end of the Bustleton Jetty, I believe. So it's a big day for Brock. Now, fill us in with a few dietary secrets over the weekend. Is there any key things that you're looking for to hit over the weekend diet-wise?
Oh, there's a lot of things that as you talk about the preparation and the planning going into this, so I've already instructed that gem of a wife. Not instructed, we had a discussion. Discussion. There's never any instruction in that one. It was a discussion about, getting the pasta meal 2 days out. Yeah. Night before, like in the morning, I know I'm not going to want to eat, but it's, essential that you get enough, banana, good healthy breakfast, muesli, whatever into me. Yep. Hydrate well into it, so I'll be up peeing, I'm sure, several times through that night.
After all the water.
And then the plan on the day is to, stay hydrated during the run. We've got a couple of the gels to keep us going. Yep. And then afterwards, because we do have the swim straight away, or the next morning, it's...
Here's a special bit coming up, friends.
It's the recover as quickly as you can, which dietary technician?
A qualified diet lady...
Yes, has recommended choc milk.
That's right, friends.
How can you say no when a professional is recommending choc milk?
We're all over it. Yes, indeed.
21k run followed by at least 600 mils.
Or 750 or a litre of choc milk.
We'll try for the litre and half.
Litre and half, yep.
And then you got to go to the wood-fired pizza joint in Bustleton there, the old fire station that's been turned into a magical place that. And that will replenish the body with the quick fats and the slow-burning carbs and whatnot to carry on with.
Well, that certainly is a plan. I believe that's going to work. It's worked for you in the past, so we'll stick with what we know.
I've never swum 2.2 though.
So not 2.2. Okay.
A little bit nervous about that. I just had to do a K last year, so...
It is nerve-wracking, the thought of swimming around the jetty, but Brock Tranter is going to do it because he certainly encouraged a lot of other people to jump off the side of cliffs attached by only one skinny rope. That's it. One skinny rope between them and a long fall to the rocks, and he's got every single person safely down to the ground. Now, we're talking abseiling out in the wilderness, friends. In the wind, in the rain sometimes. It's a big deal, and it's a very dangerous sport, but Brock loves it. Now, Brocky, is there any abseiling on your agenda this year, or is it all done last year?
No, we've got a new batch of Year 11s coming through the certificate course we run. So Mr. Charleston and myself, he's the new guy from Adelaide. He's qualified rope technician as well.
Oh, yes.
Heaps of personal experience climbing through him. So we're pretty excited to get out there. We've actually started early with him this year. So that started, the theoretical side of it started the other day. So new bunch of fresh faces to, push into this massive endeavour that they've got ahead of them.
Wowee.
There's been plenty of tears up the top of those cliffs, let me tell you, about getting over the edge and giving it a go. But it's well worth it. The benefits that they all say they get from it are just, makes it all worthwhile. No,
it is a very special sport involving a combination of strength, fitness, and just a whole calming yourself down, overcoming fears, working as a team. It really is a complete sport. Not really an individual sport, I wouldn't class it as, because you need that many other people to help you.
Yeah, it's good you mentioned team there again, because it certainly is. Like, you've got your own mental blocks more than anything, I guess, with activities like that. Like, climbing's a bit more physical than the abseiling, but it's certainly your classmates getting around you. And as teenagers know, it's, you've got your peers, even though they may not be judging you always feel judged. You always feel that peer pressure of, don't want to look silly in what you're doing. If I slip, they're all going to laugh, all that sort of stuff. So to have a really supporting class there, a couple of key people that can understand your body language and what you're going through in your head, and that are emotionally intelligent enough to be able to say the right things at the right time, that can make all the difference there as well.
It's interesting, friends, that Brock just mentioned body language and body image is, of course, very much heightened when you're during your teenage years. And if you're doing an outdoor pursuit, you just have to deal with things sometimes. Some things have to be done in bathers, or sometimes the boys will do things without a shirt on, and just have to do stuff and just enjoy it without overthinking it. And certainly that is one of the chief challenges, particularly these days with the, as everyone says, all the social media and everything's photographed and everyone gets caught doing everything. But sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to experience it, friends.
We had one of those moments this morning. I was here with Mr. Bauer, getting out of the surf, doing some rescue things with kids, and I had the bat coming out of the right nostril cave as I was about to instruct the group.
I had
so
to.
That could have been a moment.
That was a moment. In the ocean, things do get messy, and your sinuses get cleaned out powerfully, friends, as we know. And if one of the boogatrons comes out, you just have to deal with it quickly and quietly and just deal with him. There's a discreet little fix-up as we're standing in front of the group. Nobody wants to stand in front of the group and have teenagers laugh at them. So if you're a teenager listening to this show, imagine how intimidating it is being, a full-grown adult, having teenagers look at you and thinking about, are they judging me? Who knows? Hopefully not. But one thing you're free to judge, friends, is, I put myself out there as a bit of an expert when it comes to music knowledge and things like this, and, rate myself highly, just privately. I don't, boast about it, of course, but, I'm pretty good at it, definitely, but how good am I? I don't know. We're about to find out. Probably not that good, because Brock here has got a list of sort of quiz questions and things. I haven't seen these before. They're not prepared. He believes I won't be able to answer them. I believe so long as they're not exclusively from the 90s, I should be okay. If there's some 80s stuff and 70s, I should be all right. Okay, so what do we got there, BT?
Now, I'm the guest today, but I thought, I don't know if a quiz has been done during this segment before, but Mr. Bauer loves the quiz, and so we're going to bring it in anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out some lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring the tune.
Okay.
Because
no, we don't want to embarrass ourselves, but that's okay.
Getting judged here.
Yeah, yep.
So I'm going to read some lyrics, and I just want you to give the answer.
I'll give it.
Of the song, if you can.
Yeah.
Or the artist, whichever you've got.
Bring it.
Should we start off lightly first, and then
just don't start with the 90s, because that wouldn't be fair for me. But any other decade, I'm good.
I think most of these are from the 80s.
80s,
maybe early 90s.
Okay, yeah, that's
We're not
right.
going any later than that. That's for sure.
Okay,
so we're going to bring some culture to this young generation that are listening in today.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Number 1. So I walked across the country from end to end. Tried to find a place I could settle down. Where my mixed up life could mend.
Is it Christina New, My Island Home?
Nope. I found a job on an oil rig.
Oh, this is Way Out West, where
No,
there's something or other you
no.
don't go.
Close.
Ah.
Close. Flying choppers when I could.
Oh, this is Jimmy Barnes, and this is Cold Chisel. This is is it not Working Class Man?
No.
No. It is Cold Chisel though.
It
It's
is
Jimmy.
Cold Chisel. It is
Okay.
Cold Chisel with K-San.
Okay, K-San. Okay.
Oh, nice. Easy one to start with. Well
Okay.
done. You got there. Okay, here we go. Which one should I go next?
Fingers crossed.
Oh, here we go. I want to test him here.
Okay.
I want to test him. All right, here we go. Now this one starts off with a couple of hays. Hey, 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 hey. There'll be food
On the table tonight. Hello, I was at this concert. We're talking Midnight Oil, Blue Sky Mining.
Whoa, he is
It
good.
was at the
He is
Entertainment
good.
Centre in, I think I was year 12. So
Okay.
1989. They won their final concert at the Entertainment Centre before Peter Garrett went into, and then he went into politics.
He did go into politics.
He did go into politics, but he put so much energy into everything, and then he passed out in the surf and then had to get dragged up the beach just through sheer putting so much into everything he does. Okay, I'm not saying
Phenomenal
I
amount of
vote for him.
knowledge right here.
Yeah. And I'm wondering about his dancing. Why did he dance like that? I'm thinking because he had so much energy, he couldn't go smooth. He had to go all sort of vigorous, that sort of dancing. You know what I mean? I can't dance like that. It's too hard to dance like that.
I've tried.
You do it for maybe 10 seconds and you're wrecked. But he would do it for whole concerts.
But it's iconic, isn't it?
It is iconic dancing. It's
It is.
incredible.
All right, 2 from 2. Bauer is impressive.
Goodness sake.
I don't think I even got through the first line there.
I wasn't confident at the
I
start.
had plenty written down. And he can't see these, by the way.
No, I
Just
can't.
putting that there. Okay, here we go. This is a little bit more modern, maybe.
Mm.
It's coming round again.
Oh, yeah. It just keeps
Slowly creeping in of time and its command.
again. And then
Soon enough, it comes,
oh. No.
settles in its place.
No, I got nothing. I'm singing a song, but I think it's the wrong
He
one.
is singing this song. Should we give it to him? We should give it
What
to
song?
him.
Is that the song? I can feel it.
It's coming round again.
No. Who sings it? What is it?
Powderfinger.
Oh, no. See, there's a 90s one that
Too
that
late.
is
All
one
right.
of your hardcore high school ones that I knew there'd be some of them in there. I knew I wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
I do know a couple of Powderfinger ones, though, but not that one.
You were singing. You were humming along with it. It was
Yeah.
good.
I had the right song.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So there's something.
How about this one? This is an Australian band.
Yep.
I don't know why sometimes
I
I
get
get
frightened. Split ends. Okay, so cool. Epic 80s and massive.
You got
Although
that.
they're originally from New Zealand, but
Yeah.
those songs are very good for like school chants as well, I've found.
They
You know,
are.
Yeah. When I see my baby walking down the street, I see red, I see red, I see red.
If you guys haven't seen these before, make sure you go have a listen. These are some
heavy
good stuff.
duty things, they really are. And very artistic, the split ends, because they started that big fringe, short haircut. And did he have white makeup on? I don't know. But, that it wasn't goth.
No.
But it wasn't emo, but it was sort of, he had the pale skin, he had the long dark sort of hair, he had that thing going on.
Several
either
people
Doc
following
Martens
that.
or pointy shoes
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
business, that business.
It's funny how the fads and the fashions
Mm.
follow these guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, here we go. What's that? 3 from 4.
Yep.
Should
But
we count?
I
4 from
I
4.
was singing
You
the
were
tune,
singing.
I just
Okay.
didn't have a clue what it
3.5.
was. Yeah, 3
We'll have to check the producer on that
3.4.
one.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
check with the boss Isaac. Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
And another thing
Oh, yeah.
I've been wondering lately.
Another thing. It's Hoodoo Gurus.
Oh.
What's my scene, baby? Dave Faulkner. Oh, yeah. This is massive tunes. This every Aussie kid should learn some of these songs. They're powerful, amped up songs.
How good is Bowser?
They really
Oh, my
are.
goodness.
They really are. And the Hoodoo Gurus, of course, are still touring and all that. So, yeah. Oh, they are. They are on Youth Jam Radio. So they're an iconic Australian band and still getting the job done. But boy, oh boy, yes, I've used some of that as amped up music before events before. Just getting a little bit emotional. I was thinking about the Blackwood Marathon back in 1990, I think it was. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Brilliant.
I'm
All
just
right.
going to dry the tears.
Here we go. I got another one for you.
Okay,
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Johnny.
Johnny, be good, Johnny.
No.
Okay.
We were always best of friends.
Oh, yes. Oh, I know this song. Keep going, please, though. Help me.
Stick together and defend.
We were always best of friends. Run to Paradise.
It is.
Oh,
You got
yes.
I
But
didn't even have to read
But
the next
guys,
verse.
if anyone's, voting on an anthem, now hopefully Brock has not got this song. I might wreck it. He probably has this anthem song coming up, so I'm not going to say it. But I wouldn't vote Run to Paradise as the ultimate Aussie anthem song. I'd vote another song that I suspect he might have in the repertoire. I don't know though, but I will sing it. It's I don't know. I'm not going to
Go on, sing it.
It's horses. I mean. That even the great one, Joubert, loves horses, and he's got it on his playlist. He has.
Yeah, I didn't want to enter into that debate.
No, we didn't.
Like the ad that's rolling around.
But I'm just saying.
Yep,
But
it's a good one.
really, anyone can swing into horses. They can sound good, feel good as they're singing it, and also just say they want to impress that girl across the room. One little bit of eye contact as they're singing the song. You're communicating stuff. You're communicating emotion. Just say you're at the Year 12 ball, as Isaac will be. You're communicating emotion, but also in a fun way. So it's not all heavy duty and
totally
pressure. But you are communicating, I like you, and you're very nice.
This is just life lessons galore.
Yeah, so it's ball season now, friends. There's a lot of Year 12s who listen to this across different schools. So if you are, what you do, arrange for just say you're going in the car there or the limo. Say, right, I know this is Brock's interview, but I'm just edging in.
No, this is great.
What you do, roll with Daryl Braithwaite, Horses. It's from the 80s. Just look it up. And then just as the song plays, make eye contact with your date. That's all you need to do. If you're brave enough, if you're good enough, maybe sing a few lyrics, just sing along with it. And it's a wonderful situation. I'm just saying that's a beautiful thing to do.
It is a beautiful
Isaac,
thing.
you with me on that? Yeah. No. Okay, great. He said yes, friends. He said
He
yes.
said yes.
I
I
don't
heard
know
it.
who's taking the ball, but she's a lucky lady, whoever she is.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Now, this one could be hard.
Yep.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yep.
Okay, you ready? Can you get it off this line? I know you were right, believing for so long.
Oh, believing for so long, I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. Something or other can't be too long to think this I was awesome. That is Air Supply, one of the epic songs. Now, only use that song, friends, if you really do love her. Okay, then you use that song and you belt it.
It's
and
a
that
brilliant
is
song.
an absolute winner. That is a winner. It's guaranteed. It's Air Supply. Look it up on the Spotify social media things that young people do. Do it. Do it.
Have we got time for one more?
Yeah, one more.
This
Sorry,
could be
Isaac.
tough.
Okay,
Last
here
one.
Here we go. Bring it.
Last one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The finger of blame has turned upon itself,
Yeah. Just a little bit more.
and I'm more than willing to offer myself.
Oh. I know this.
Do you want my presence or need my help?
Isaac, are you helping me on this, mate?
I can see it. So.
Oh, you can see it. I can't see it.
Whenever I
call finger, I fall at your feet.
That's the one.
Oh, yes.
He got
is
it.
Is that Crowded House?
It is Crowded
Oh,
House.
wow.
Had to include some Crowded House.
I know. Crowded House is it's soft, but it's sort of intellectual music. I think it's as intellectual as we're ever going to get on this show, and that is for sure. If Brock and myself are talking, it's not going to be deep, friends. We can trust you there. Isaac might bring some deepness into the program, but we're keeping it shallow. Everything's safe. Don't worry. Okay.
That was very impressive, Mr. Bauer.
Goodness
You
sake.
nailed everything except for Powderfinger, but I'm going to have to just
But
lend you that album.
hold on. I'm going to put it all on the line for you, Brock, and no more calling me Mr. Bauer because you know I don't like it.
Okay, Bowser.
But now, mate, I'm going to go 2000s female American pop artist. He won't know this, Isaac. He won't have a clue.
Not a
I'm going
clue.
to prove dominance here.
I was all over Triple J.
This is be all and end all. This is you versus me, head to head. If you know the answer to this question, you will be better than Joubert. Okay?
Oh, do I even have to start?
No, I'm just going to say.
Okay.
You will be number one, okay, in DJing.
Okay.
Okay, the question is this. The blonde singer whose name is Taylor Swift.
Oh, my
Taylor
goodness.
Swift. Now, she is very physically fit. That's a clue. She had a sport, mainly an individual
Oh.
sport, that she was very,
Individual.
very, very good at in the national championships and stuff in America. That's USA, friends, United States of America. But had to decide, did she pursue a full-on professional Olympics and all that stuff in this sport,
Ooh.
or did she full-on go pop star stuff that she does now? Some songs I really like. The question is, this is standalone, head-to-head. What was the sport that Taylor Swift was really good at and could have done professionally but chose to pursue a musical career? What was that sport?
Okay, there's several clues there that I've picked up on. I'm not sure if you guys were listening to Bowser's little introduction there, but Olympics was a big clue that an individual. So I'm not seeing a singer being a magical ball sport player.
No.
No. So that immediately got me thinking about more to the art side of sports.
Uh-huh.
So I started thinking dance.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what sort of dance could be at the Olympics? Now, I don't think Winter Olympics would be up her interest level. So
You're thinking
that sort
correctly
of
there.
crosses out
Yes,
the
that's right.
figure skating, all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
A bit of country in her early stuff. Could be some horse riding things there, but nah, she's too popular for that.
He avoided the obvious one. Ooh, he's getting closer. Will he hit the jackpot, friends?
So I'm going to go with... she is you said physically strong girl.
She's strong, yes.
Nothing gives you more physical strength than gymnastics.
Oh, whoa! How did he get that?
Is it?
It's gymnastics. Oh, I'm on the dirt. I'm laying down, friends, and Brock Tranter has reigned supreme.
People. Listen to the clues.
The clues were there, and seeing as lots of audience are year 12, and they're doing their certificates, they're doing their ATAR subjects. I'm thinking at home, did you beat Brock Tranter to the gymnastics answer? Did you break it down? Because he broke that down fairly quick, avoiding the horse riding one was very...
That was tempting.
Yeah, that was a shipwreck waiting to happen. But no, he galloped over that one and pole vaulted his way to glory with the gymnastics answer, friends. Even Isaac was struggling. I think he came up with... he was. Oh, yeah, Isaac was onto it. So there you go.
He did use Google.
Did he? He used Google, the little cheat. Hey, friends, there was no Googling going on here by Brock. Just had to work his way through that. So we're just going here with brain size. But, however, if you're going to Google it, you Google it. Alrighty, talking about Googling it, what do we got coming up now, Isaac? I know there's a song coming up very soon, so I don't know what tune he's got, but you can be sure. The Horses, UBOT, a personal request. I'm sure Brock's behind that one as well. Thank you, friends.
Youth Jam Radio.
Now, friends, you might meet Brock, you might think, yeah, he's a rough and tumble adventure guy, but on the inside, there's an element to his life. There's a little bit of snobbery. I'm talking coffee snob. I've made the call, friends. I've seen him grinding the beans on the wilderness area, grinding beans, just getting them perfect. How do you respond to that, Brock, being called a coffee snob?
Well, I guess it was something like, public schoolboy growing up, something I never thought I'd get into. I didn't actually start drinking coffee till I was in my 20s.
What?
It was, I don't know, I just never felt like I needed it. I was just a naturally energetic guy.
You didn't feel it added a level of sophistication to your teenage years?
Well, I don't know. Mum never drinks hot drinks, so we just never grew up in a house where we had hot drinks.
I guess if Mum's not going to make it, you're not going to drink it. It's that simple.
When you're a kid.
That's how it rolls.
That is the simpleness of it.
Fair enough.
So I always struggled with instant coffee. Just never really... People are raving about coffee, and I was like, okay. So on camp is actually when I got into it. So you get up in the morning, simple pleasures on camp is what makes the difference. So you want to pack as light as you can, but to have something you look forward to can often just take your mind away from the grueling times, the painful times, anything like that, physically challenged times, and you just think about it. So to be able to stop and have a coffee. So there is a few guys that I've worked with that have bought different contraptions on camp. Some have taken those massive, heavy stovetop percolator things.
Yeah.
I considered that, but too much weight. So they do make the little versions of that, and that was good. So I guess you do go the instant option when
if you're desperate.
And you start relying on the coffee. But
desperation there.
oh man, that's the pits of doom. So so you do. Once you taste a good coffee and you appreciate it, it's hard to go back. So as much as like I used to dread or refuse to enter into those realms of snobbery,
yes,
I don't think there's any other label for it.
No, there isn't. And really, each of us thinks, because we've got a type of coffee we like, or especially want to make it that we're the best. And secretly, I think even the great Calvin Webb does he? I don't know. I mean, the master, we know, but do each of us actually secretly consider we're actually better than him at making coffee? I don't know. Is that a thing?
It depends if he's listening, can I say?
Yeah. If he's not listening, we say what we want.
That's
basically
right.
That's how.
If he's not listening, then you make coffee the way you like it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm hearing you there, but except the way I make it, which is a little bit
cowboy,
full on, and with the all the bits down the bottom. But
cowboy is the only way you can describe the way Bowser makes his coffee.
So long as you don't actually physically drink all the coffee grounds, it's okay.
It is good.
So, yeah, it's good for the garden too.
No, but there are several. I think the way they make beans these days, it just makes the whole.
It's a natural product, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why I do it.
Just checking, friends.
Coming from a vegan household.
Yes.
But the way they make beans, it's it's not that hard to find a contraption that can make a really good coffee. So I've been going the AeroPress now for a little while. The AeroPress is a nice little lightweight plastic thing, and I can't remember the name of the new one they got out. There's a new one with a little pump action that puts out a nice little shot as well. But the fresh grounds is the difference. So adding the fresh, like the hand grinder to the kit, adds a little bit of weight, but to grind your own beans, the smell of it all, it becomes a process rather than just a little, reward. It's a big process, a ritual that you can just get into.
Yes.
Grind your beans, make your coffee. Everyone around's just drooling, jealous, all that sort of stuff.
I'm becoming jealous just listening to this.
And then the milk's the hard part. So, you make a nice black coffee these days.
Yes.
And it's...
Yep. Black coffee, 10 sugars, it works.
Yeah.
Maybe no sugar.
If you get the right beans, though.
Yes.
I use the 5 Senses beans.
Okay. See, there's a snobbery coming in there right there.
Locally done from
Fremantle, no doubt. No?
Well, it's a guy. Funny enough, so go back to my youth. When I was young, my parents used to direct some Baptist camps at Serpentine there, and there was a young fella there who now has headed up the whole... Dean Gallagher, he took over created 5 Senses.
Oh, wow.
And his team...
So this is a local business?
So it's a local business. They've, they get the beans from around the world. They've employed a whole bunch of a lot of them Christian guys. So guys I used to play basketball with or know through the basketball church circles. So a lot of them are there. So I feel like I'm supporting local business as well as, getting the best beans that
Absolutely.
I feel I can get. But
so you sort of... by drinking more coffee, doing a community service, basically.
It's a win-win situation for everyone.
It's a triple win. It's a win all over.
It's a triple win.
Oh,
and that gets the tick of approval from Webby as well, because they're the same beans he uses.
Well, if Webby says it's okay,
major thing here at school.
It is okay then.
It is.
Oh,
so you get the good bean.
Yep.
You get the good process, and
Webby's approval.
You never look back at Instant ever again.
Oh, well, there you go, friends. The final word. We're never looking back at Instant, because nothing Brock Tranter does is instant. He thinks long term. How can he get the best outcomes to help young people, help adults? And we certainly will be having a follow-up interview with him at some point in time. We want to hear how things have gone with the... he's got a big year of climbing ahead, paddling and whatnot. And somewhere down the track in 2019, we'll hear from him again. We'll see if he can dig deeper into the music culture with the quiz, and I might have a few questions ready for him out of the arsenal of questions that I've got. So, Brock, it's been an absolute pleasure. Isaac's over there. He's playing social media games. That's what teenagers do. No, he's not. No, he's working. He's working, friends. It's been an absolute pleasure, friends. So, thank you very much there, Brocky.
It's been a pleasure, Bowers. Thanks for inviting us in. It's good to have a chat with you at any time.
There we go, friends. I'll see you next week on Youth Jam Radio.